Welcome back to my Inventor series, and this time we're going to be looking at another jewellery item, and this is another way to create a ring so that it can be cast through lost wax casting process. So I'm going to start a sketch on the XY plane, and I'm going to draw two circles this time, and the circles are going to match the size of my ring. So I'm going for a size S ring, which is 20.4 millimeters in diameter. I'm going to draw another circle on the outside of that, and this time I'm going to go 3 millimeters bigger than that, so 23.4. Okay, so we've got two circles. The inner circle is my ring size, the outer circle is the ring size plus the thickness of the metal that I want around the outside, times 2, okay, because we're dealing in diameters. Finish that sketch and extrude it. And you can see here we're going to extrude this one to, let's just say, 7 millimeters, okay, like so. Alright, so just like with the signet ring, we're going to draw a sketch on this surface here. Okay, so I need a work plane. I need it to be parallel to the YZ axis, and I want it to be tangent to that face there, so the circular face there. Then if I click on that work plane, it gives me the option to create a sketch, and that's just what I want to do. I'm going to start by drawing a rectangle on here, because what I'm going to do here is I'm going to create a pattern that I can repeat around the surface of the ring to make it look a bit more interesting. So I've got a rectangle there. I'm going to make my rectangle so that it doesn't go all the way out to the edge of my ring, so I'm going to leave 0.5 of a millimeter between the edge and the rectangle. Okay, and I'm going to make this one the same as that, so I'm just going to click on that 0.5 and it will be the same size. For the length of the triangle, the length of the rectangle, I need to make it so that when I do my pattern it will meet up perfectly. Okay, so in order to do that I need to calculate the circumference of my ring, okay, the circumference of the outside of this ring, and divide it by the number of times that I want to repeat the pattern. So in this case I'm going to go 10. Okay, so I want 10 times around here. Alright, in order to do that though, I need to know the circumference of this. Alright, so what I can do is I can say, I'm going to use a formula for the dimension of this line here. So let's just go back here. Okay, so this one here, okay, the length of that line I want to be a 1/10 of the circumference of that outside circle. Okay, so my circle was 23.4 millimeters. Okay, I can then times that by, and use the asterisk for times, pi, because as we all know, circumference equals pi times diameter. Alright, then I'm going to say I want to divide all of that by 10. Alright, and then when I tick my green tick there, it'll actually give it a number. Alright, but the number is equivalent to the circumference of that outer circle divided by 10. Okay, so I'll just show you that again. So it's 23.4 millimeters times pi. Okay, the circumference of a circle is pi times diameter, and then divided by 10. Alright, that's the hardest bit. Okay, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to align with a vertical constraint because my sketch is on its side for some reason. So I'm going to vertically align that midpoint of the rectangle with the midpoint of that line or that circle, and then now that way my shape is lined up there. What I'm also going to do is I'm going to put all of these lines, so the lines for my rectangle, I'm going to make them construction lines. Okay, and that way they won't be included in my final sketch. Alright, now for this one, what I'm going to do is just a basic zigzag pattern all the way around. So I'm going to draw a line. It's going to go from here down to there and then across to there. Okay, I'm going to draw another line. Now I'm going to make sure those two lines are equal with each other. Okay, and they are coincident with the corners of my rectangle. Then I'm going to do an offset from that shape, and you can see it actually chooses all three lines, and I'm going to do that. Okay, so I'm offsetting the triangle so that they're all equal all the way around. I could have also done a parallel constraint, alright, but I'm just going with my offset there just as a bit of a shortcut. I'm now going to put a coincident constraint between that point and that point, which is the middle of my rectangle. Okay, and you can see it changes the angle slightly, but you can see that that it's now right in the middle there. Right, now I'm going to trim some lines off. Okay, so I'm going to trim that and that. I'm going to trim that and that. I'm also going to trim that one and that one and that one. Okay, if I don't want to do all that trimming, I can just select the line and delete it because I'm getting rid of all of that line. I need to enclose the shape, so now I'm going to do a little line from there to there and a line from there to there. And so now I've got an enclosed shape. Now something went a bit wobbly there, so I'm going to just do my coincident constraint between the end of that line and that point. And there it is. And now I'm going to finish that sketch. Alright, so I've got a V shape on there. That's one zig, okay, or it's a zig and a zag, and so I'm going to repeat that pattern all the way around. Alright, so I'm going to use an emboss. Okay, now if I was to extrude this pattern all the way through, my ring would fall in half. So in this case I only want to go halfway through, alright, or less than half. I'm going to go 0.5 of a millimeter. Okay, I'm going to say wrap to face because I want it to wrap to that face there. Alright, and then I'm going to say OK, and you can see that it creates a groove there. The difference between doing it this way and doing it as an extrusion is that an extrusion will, because it's going through parallel, it doesn't work out the same. So it won't follow the curve, whereas this one will because we're using the emboss. Right, then it's just simply a matter of repeating that pattern 10 times. So if I can select the emboss from my model browser, and I can do a repeated pattern around this rotation axis, and if I put in 10 and then go OK, you can see that it will create that pattern which is all neatly joined up all the way around there. Alright, now if I want to add more detail to this, obviously I can go back to my sketch and add some more things, you know, maybe a couple of circles or something, but that's the basics there of how you do it. Okay, so that's another way of creating a ring for Inventor. Thanks for watching.